Hello students, welcome to today's session of Daily Chemistry Dose. So what is stored in today's dose? Today I shall be passing you a question which would give you a feel of a bit of physical chemistry, organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry. So the basic level of these three is asked in this particular question. So the question contains carbon, carboxylic acid, bonding, redox, and all of these questions are the part of physical, organic and inorganic. And one problem which I am asking you today in this today's session is engaging the fact that all the three dimensions are touched on to the basic level by examiner. So here comes the question. Try it out by pausing the video and thereafter see into the discussion I am going to do. So I hope you people have tried this question by pausing the video. Which of the following compound of carbon can be formed by dehydration of what? Dehydration of polycarboxylic acid and actually exist in nature. So this seems to be a very interesting question, and what is to be done in this particular question? First we have to have a bit of if you have a bit of information prior to the paper regarding this particular dimension of carbon family, that carbon exists in two allotropic form. One is, we call it as, the crystalline allotropes of carbon are two, diamond and graphite, and along with fluorine. So if I talk of graphite itself, that you, if you have read somewhere that graphite as such, graphite if is being treated with concentrated nitric acid along with heating, this the hexagonal layering which the graphite would have along with delocalized pi electron density, so this tend to undergo complete oxidation to give you this sort of a compound. This is very interesting to tell you that this compound is being generated. Now what exactly is this compound? We call it as to be benzene 1 2 3 4 5 6 carboxylic acid, and this particular type of carboxylic acid is called as graphatic acid. Graphatic acid, and at times it also would be seen to be written as maltic acid. So this is the information which is stored in for you for today's session, that how I'm going to make C12O9, which generally people are not aware of. And another way to make it, that if you would take hexamethyl benzene, hexamethyl benzene, if it is being treated with KMNO4 and is being heated, this also would oxidize methyl to COH group. So there is a very important which you have done in hydrocarbon chapter also, that if the carbon attached to benzene is having one hydrogen, and if it is treated with KMNO4, it is being oxidized with some strong oxidizing agent, it turn to carboxylic acid. So now the matter of the fact is, this graphatic acid which I have written, this graphatic acid, now if I would do the heating to it, what I would end up getting is a beautiful compound which may be written like this. This is COH, this also is COH. Now what would happen? This also is COH and this also is COH, or let me do it like this on this side. So what would happen is, uh, a beautiful type of a structure would be generated here. This is graphatic acid. Now if you heat it with P4O10 type of a species, or with any dehydrating agent, dehydrated hydrating agent, it would undergo dehydration, in the sense that this water would come out, and from here also this water would come out, and from this side also you can snatch this water out. As a consequence, what is being liberated? Something like this, beautiful. I always loved making it, because this, it's a anhydride of graphatic acid. Now this anhydride of graphatic acid can be shown it like this. So here comes the compound. This is the compound which is being generated. Now this particular compound which we have written is nothing but C. Now how many C are there? These are the C6 which did not have hydrogen with them. So it is C6, and there are 6 carbon which I am showing it with orange marker. These are the 6 carbons of the other methylated part which went to the carboxylic acid and finally dehydrated to give you anhydride. So it is C12, and how many oxygens are there? So the oxygens are there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is what you call it as this particular compound, C12O9. Beautiful. It is interesting. Now the other one which is being given here is C3O2. This is also a very popular one which we call it as carbon suboxide. Carbon suboxide. This carbon suboxide is basically a polymeric form of this compound. If I draw it like this in, so this is a sort of conjugated, not conjugated, it is sort of what you call it as a lean type of a structure it would generate. When I say N is equal to 1, this is simply carbon dioxide. When N is equal to 2, it becomes C2O2, and then if there a popular one is C3O2. This is carbon suboxide. Now, in this carbon suboxide, how we can generate it? This carbon suboxide can be generated from malonic acid. If you take malonic acid like this is what you call it as malonic acid. Now, if this malonic acid is being again dehydrated with P4O10 or with concentrated sulfuric acid, it underwent dehydration. So what it shall be giving? It shall be giving me this. Water goes out, this double bond goes here, and from here the water goes like this, and this double bond comes here. So here comes the carbon suboxide. This is very beautiful to tell you. So now we have to pick out the other options. Let me show it to you what the options are. So there is a one compound written C2O3. Let me check this out. So this is these are the two options which we are talking about. And carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, although are the quite important oxides of carbon, but they are not formed by the dehydration of polycarboxylic acid. Now as regard to C2O3 or something like that, there could be n number of compounds we can make from carbon and oxygen apart from these four. One, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, C3O2, and C4, sorry, C12 H9 O9. So these are the some of the oxide which are well endorsed today that they are actually existing. Otherwise, if I write C2O3 at any point of time, a student can think of why not it can be like this also, because if I draw it like this, it would have all the what you call it as Lewis dot structure complete. So if I draw it like this, why not it does it exist like that? Or for that matter, if I write C2O5, C2O5 can be drawn it like this. This is what you call it as C2O5. But these compounds actually are not existing. Somewhat like this. At times people ask me why not you can make it this way. You can with Lewis dot structure can make it, but here we shall be saying that there is quite a good amount of steric hindrance. Probably that is the reason. So as a matter of fact, there are many other compounds of carbon and oxygen which you can make with the Lewis dot structure by keeping the divalency of oxygen and tetravalency of carbon. But actually these are the four compounds which are till date are being endorsed with most of the books and most of the data that it is experimentally seen that they are existing in nature. Now as regard to the one more question I am placing it here, just see here, because you now know the structure. Now you know the structure. So in the first question you need a little bit of inorganic, you need to understand the bonding. Once you need to understand how they are being made, that also I have shared it with you. Now the point is, what they are asking is the carbon, if the number of carbon atoms in C12O9 and C3O2 with positive oxidation state, he is talking of positive oxidation state carbon atoms in these two compounds, if are X and Y, what is the sum of X plus Y? So let us go back to the structure once and see. Now this is one structure where we can see the oxidation state. So in this bond it is +2, here it is -2 because oxygen is more electronegative. Here it is 0, this also is 0. Here it is 0 because it is attached to carbon itself. So it is -2, it is +2. So there are two carbon atoms which are in +2 +2 oxidation state. there are two carbon atoms in plus 2 oxidation state. So he was asking the question that how many carbon atoms are in positive oxidation state. So in this compound there are two carbon atoms, and let us see in this one. So here this carbon, the one I'm marking with white, it is attached with carbon itself. It is on the all the three sides, it is attached with carbon. So the oxidation state of carbon atoms present on the benzene part would be zero. So these would be zero oxidation state carbon. These are zero oxidation state carbon, all of these. And what about the other one? The other one, which is the important one, which I'm marking it with pink, this one, this carbon is on this side is +2 -2 with carbon monoxide, or with attached with oxygen, and here it is +1 -1. Here also it is -1, this is +1, and with this oxygen it is -2 and +2. So this means this carbon is in +3 oxidation state, this also is in +3 oxidation state. So all the carbons in, so I may say it like that, that there are 6 carbon O9, and all the oxygens are in -2. That also is a very interesting question from the redox point of view. And this, they may ask you, and this carbons are in zero oxidation state and 6 carbons are in +3 oxidation state. So 6 into 3, that makes +18. 8 into -2, it makes sense also, it is -18. So overall sum of all the oxidation states of all the elements in a neutral compound is 0. So there are 6 carbon atoms with +3, that is positive oxidation state, and 2 carbons in carbon suboxide is in which oxidation state? uh, +2 oxidation state. So we will say that in this there are 6 carbons with 6 carbon with +3 oxidation state, and in this case there are 2 carbon atoms with +2 oxidation state. So as a matter of fact, there are 8 answer would be there. 8 would be the answer, because 6 of first and the 2 of the next one. So I hope you have liked this particular session, and hope to see you once again in another session. And stay connected, stay safe. Bye bye, take care.